All right, welcome to the April 20th Jefferson County Board of Tourism meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for coming. So, Rini sent out the minutes for the March meeting a week or so ago. Entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 23rd.
And I'll second.
All right. All those in favor signify by aye. So I'm gonna go away. All right. Treasurer's report. So we had two claims for the month. One was for marketing from BMI, which was $14,195.04. And then there was a claim for travel expenses of $1,512.48. For the month, the innkeeper's tax was $76,126.32. Down a little bit from last year, but compared to every other March that we've been keeping records, it's well above that. So I'll entertain a motion on the treasurer's report.
I'll make a motion. We pass the treasurer's report with the two claims.
Okay.
I'll second that.
All those in favor signify by aye. All right. Projects and partnerships. I don't know that we have anything for that tonight. So we'll go to VMI update. Okay, let's see if we can get the quickest meeting ever.
Yeah.
Oh, did I do that? The commissioners have a. No, really, commissioners have a 9-minute meeting. That's all right.
I think the
Yeah.
record's 12.
Was it?
For
Okay.
here, 9.
Yeah.
Okay, all right,
You're fine.
I know, you're just teasing.
Yeah.
National Travel and Tourism Week, we're excited to do a first ever advocacy campaign through the Madison Courier by putting an insert in all 16,000 households. So you may expound on that too, Andrew, but we have, we're doing a giveaway and then just kind of want to talk about what tourism means to Jefferson County residents and kind of put some numbers on there. We're doing a giveaway for a trolley family pack. And then on the back of it, it's got the remaining 2026 events. So hopefully it's a piece that they'll keep on their fridge and it'll be well worth putting that out there. So we have some trackable QR codes on there. So hopefully we'll be able to track how many people scan it and all that good stuff. So that is May 1st. That'll be the all run of papers. Obviously still working on the 2025 annual report that will come out like that same time frame of that week of National Travel and Tourism Week. So we're continuing. I have all the data from everybody except for our JCTA partners that need to give me their top like 3 successes. But I have all the information for the most part and trying to build that report for 2025. Let's see here. You guys may have seen that we ranked in number 2 at the best small town in the Midwest. So next to VV is number 1. So we've been bantering back and forth with our cohort over there. And, you know, it really just, when you really think about the specialness of like the region, you know, like both of our cities have been top in the last 4 years. And so obviously this year, we've taken advantage of some co-ops to target Cincinnati. And so we plan to maybe sit down and just explore ideas on what that looks like in the future. An example would be like Augusta and Maysville, Kentucky. Like they're 2 separate cities, but they do market, you know, a lot together. People don't even know the difference sometimes. You know, they just know the Clooney's live there or from there, you know. But anywho, just looking to continue furthering strengthening that, you know, our Reverie Roads goes through that county as well. And so that was always an intention of ours, is to partner with them in that way from the motor trail perspective. So, so there's all that. The Shamrock Tour that we worked hard on last year will be available digitally on May 9th, and then we'll be in their printed issues, a couple weeks later, so maybe May 19th, I believe. And, they actually want to do a collaboration on digital with us, so that was even more exciting. And so, really excited about what that is. I mean, they talk about how there's some significant destination visibility that happens when you're on a Shamrock tour. So really looking forward to what that means for, Jefferson County. Also, let's see here, we, just got, approval from Unbroken Music Circle, from Broken Circle Music Festival. To say that so quickly, they, are gonna work on a content creator with us. We had a successful creator here last year. It was the best one we've ever had in the sense from all perspectives, from communication standpoint, engagement. They were talking to us every day. They over delivered. And so we were looking to work with them again, and Unbroken agreed to a VIP package for them to be a part of their event. But also we'll have some other itinerary things going on there. We're gonna be looking for a lodging partner, but we realize that's gonna be a really hard weekend. So we're probably gonna pay for, try to work with a partner to pay for the night's stays for them to be there. But, cause we know that that's probably already booked in most people's eyes. So I'm also, getting ready to send out partner outreach for the FAM tour that we are awarded through Visit Indiana. So we're one of two communities that'll be here the July 24th, 26th, and 24th, 25th, and 26th. It is a weekend. So looking forward to getting all of that organized with our partner organizations. Let's see here. Hopefully getting ready to launch our CRM. So it gives a little bit of a website refresh on how our listings will look. Everybody that has a listing here, it'll look a little different. And as well as an event calendar. But the biggest thing is that business tourism partners will be able to manage their listing themselves. So you renew, any of you guys can go in, you'll claim your listing or listings. And then you have changes, you submit them, and then we approve them. And so it's easier, like you guys got our changes that come up that are in the printed guide that, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So just always another way to elevate that tourism partner relationship, but also to give you guys more control over updating your information.
That's great.
So that's all coming. We just had a little bit of setbacks working with a new company and just trying to get everything updated. All good, but one thing that I think the only person in here, Dave, that was in here in 2022, this is starting to come about. We got approved for the 2028 cover for the Indiana State Festival Association. This is like a 4-year process. They were 4 or 5 years out. And so we, back in, on August 29th of 2022, Trevor motioned and approved that the 2027 budget will be increased by 15,000 because that's what that costs to be on that cover. So I'm just bringing it up as I'm in the early stages of designing that cover because it's due the summer of 26. And then the payment will be due fall 27. So I have you guys have that somewhere in your archives, but also I have a copy of it that we had kept. And all of that good stuff. So that's coming up. It's gonna be, if you've seen that festival guide cover, it's so hard to put just say everything about your destinations, festivals in one picture. And so we've not really, it's not been a favorable thing that we've seen. We're like, oh man, what is ours gonna look like? So that's starting, and the one for 27 actually looks decent, and it might be something I might try to mimic off of because they were using a unique way of showing a an attraction that had an event that the event might have not been like their biggest event, but it was able to
Tie in other things.
Yes, so thank you. Anyway, lots going on always, and excited to get you guys those 25 numbers. We've really elevated digital, like the numbers that I'm pulling together to share with you guys are just, the engagement that we had over the last year and just the follower increase that we had on multiple platforms. is just really excited to share with you guys. And then I hope to go in more depth with what things mean. So hopefully, if you guys don't know about certain things, I always encourage you to ask me, or, happy to, elaborate on something. So probably took more time than I should have.
Good, well, good update.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I digress.
One of the best examples of that collaboration, with Vivi, were you gonna show that?
Oh, yes, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry.
I thought that was the perfect timing.
It was a perfect timing. Okay, yes. Last year we tapped into being in the Bengals program, and then of course, they reached back out to both of us and were asking us to be a part of the Reds, and we're like, we were going over that, and so I negotiated both of them for this year, got a lower price, and I got in the back inside cover, which is a premium spot, which is also right across from the schedule.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to getting some major visibility here. I'm really excited about that. And so our new message this year is gonna be back to back to back to back to back. I don't know what it's gonna be, but just trying to appeal to, that huge Cincinnati audience. Jim wanted a copy, and then this one I was gonna give away by giving you guys a trivia question. But I don't know if you're all the Reds fans, but
No.
no.
But I do wanna see it.
So ready.
I do wanna see it, though.
That's the question.
I was gonna ask, does anybody know, how many home runs that, Dela Cruz has so far as one of the major, famous players that we have right now?
8.
Nope.
Zero idea.
You're close.
Zero.
Yeah, I mean, if you can either tell me his total from being in his career, and which is also on the Reds,
Yeah, I
or you
like
can give me
it.
how many home runs he's had this year. And don't look it up. I'm watching you guys.
Hey, pictures this last week in Louisville.
Oh, right.
Very cool.
So that's.
Well, if anybody else wants to give me a number, I can pick between the number she gave and the number that you guys did.
2.
Huh?
2.
No,
Okay.
he wins.
Okay.
10? No, it was 6.
Okay.
Yeah. And last Wednesday, was another trivia. I was gonna have a tiebreaker, and that was how far was his home run? And it was 442 feet.
Yeah, that was a buck.
It was a far one. So anyway, you're the winner.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm excited. Well, no, you bring someone that.
Okay.
Better.
How many parks you been in?
How many parks?
Yeah, ballparks.
Oh, 18 now.
Wow.
Yeah, just 2 weeks ago.
That's
I have one up on dad now, because
Oh,
he'd been to Detroit and I hadn't, and now we're covered, so.
nice.
Yes.
That's cool.
So yes.
Yeah, it's a neat, that's a neat thing, those are very costly, ads, and so the idea of partnering, still getting that visibility, going along with that regional idea that we've both been a winners, best small town in the Midwest. They've been very happy with it, we've been very happy with the partnership, and I think it opens some other doors for regional tourism there. And it's one of those things that we might get some visibility, people that know Vivi because of Belterra, then learn about Madison, or people that know about Madison, learn about Vivi. So, it's a neat opportunity. And I think Sarah designed it really well to build on both of those, so.
When that tulip thing with Kat Von D went, I mean, I don't know what he shared with you, but he said they couldn't even handle it. That they were sending Madison because the restaurants couldn't handle it. They were
I
sending.
was
people
there
down
on that last Saturday.
Okay.
And it's that, we tried to go to Roxy's, you couldn't get in. Mexican restaurant, we couldn't get served. We went to Cuz's, they were out of food.
Yeah.
We had a beer and we're like,
The
we're just gonna
impact
go back
was-
to our own
Yeah,
restaurant.
that's
Yeah.
right. No.
But I couldn't believe the
Yeah.
number of people that were lined in the streets and parking way down and walking up and,
I can't believe it either.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
still can't believe
The amount
it.
of earned media that they got. I mean,
Yeah.
every Cincinnati channel was there. I
Yeah,
mean, it was crazy.
it's organic and yeah, it was very, and I don't know.
It was-
Would have never expected that.
Yeah.
heard clips of going into museums and churches and just start popping up. I mean, you watch one and then all of them.
Absolutely,
I mean,
yeah,
so-
we went to church on that Sunday and it was like, you were watching her walk up with her son and light candles and it was, yeah, it was like, I didn't even look this up, what happened?
I
Yeah,
mean, she
it's
did
wild.
the Bison and Boneless, Kentucky, so they went, I mean.
Big Bone.
That was a
Big
while
Bone
ago.
State Park.
See,
Well,
That was eons ago.
But I know,
Yeah,
but you
that
watch
was-
one and you don't come up, I mean, the idea is,
Yeah.
what's John Snyder doing? Is he wanna,
He's doing the 50 states.
I understand, so he'll be back around.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, you know, I
She's a
met,
little more
what, a
hip than
couple
John,
years
sorry,
ago.
John.
Huh?
She's a little more hip than John, sorry, John.
Right.
He's
So
still,
demographic.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did get a chance to talk to him recently and just thanked him for his positive posts about Madison, Jefferson County. So hoping that maybe that we could. expand
Opens a
that.
door for some,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you?
Yes, you have my report. You know, I don't need to go into too many details. Just a couple highlights of the thing there, put in there, we attended Heartland Travel Showcase. That same day, Sarah was at, an event in Cincinnati, the Off-Road Alliance Bike and Trail Expo. I was up at the Indiana Foodways booth at the Chicago Travel and Adventure Show, talking about Madison there. And then, you know, we're gathering some data, for the year. Placer has not shown me February and March just yet. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I was hoping to have a dashboard to show you, but it will not hold. But I do have the occupancy ADR, that's on the last page. You can see that we're a little up this year in, March. That's the most recent update. Not up a ton, but up a little bit. I don't know if that's what you're seeing as well, but looks like we had some strong weekdays. Looking at the individual week data on some of my reports, we had some strong weekdays. So I think there's some good business travel happening, especially at Fairfield. So then any kind of construction projects, especially you'll drive past Holiday Inn, Super 8, Comfort Inn on, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and you'll see their parking lots are full. So that's a lot of business travel.
I got the official text today from NDOT that says, marks the official start of the 2026 construction and maintenance season. I was like, oh, great,
Here we go.
here we go.
So,
And then JD's at Circle Wisconsin right now, I'm talking with tour operators, so.
This is a good report on the back here.
yeah, so I'm hoping to bring that, you know, to continue to make sure you guys have good information. And like I said, that Placer dashboard would be really nice, but I think I had maybe brought it in January and I couldn't get it beyond January, so I didn't want to repeat it.
I am a little surprised by the occupancy. I mean, obviously, you know, we have a lot fewer rooms, but we have much higher occupancy numbers than these. This was probably our busiest March ever. We hit 85%.
And that- I'm hearing that, you know, Josh, Rainey, I'm hearing that. What makes this difficult is Star estimates the occupancy at all hotels based on the 4 reporting, which was Fairfield, Comfort Inn, Holiday Inn, and Super 8. And I was pulling Regatta data for Kyle this week, so this is the most recent example. So we all know during Regatta that occupancy was at 100%,
Mhm.
or very close to it. You know, you might have had a couple rooms here and there. I think even Best Way had, you know, 2-3 rooms, something like that, left. But Star showed me that they were at 78% was their estimate. Well, so they're using an algorithm to estimate that. And so I always want to caution, and that's why I put on there, that's an estimate from Star based on 4 reporting hotels. And so they are looking at the 4 that report, plugging into some kind of algorithm that says, here's what we might expect from the other hotels that are not reporting. And I think it is chronically low.
Mhm.
You know, there may be a few that ends up being the estimate's high, but I think most of the time that's a very low estimate.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I did want to go back to the first page and we can sidebar this, but I am curious about Girls Weekend and the value and what your perceived value was. I mean, I've talked to some other business owners and restaurateurs, and I'm just curious what the feel was. I think it was, this year was a lot harder to actually track who may be participating
Yes.
in Girls Weekend, but I'm just curious what the, because it seems to be trending the same, like I kind of hear the same thing every year where it's kind of like, like
Yeah.
there's not a big, I don't feel like there's a lot of energy behind the event, so I'm just curious what everyone else's perception is.
Yeah, that's what, I mean, you can tell in some of what I put down there. You know, we heard from some visitors, we had a bunch that reached out to the Girls Weekend at visitmadison.org. So then after the event was over, I emailed all of them, just said, hey, give me your feedback. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you end up coming? Just in general, got about 50-50. Half of them were like, we loved it. We love coming to Madison. We spent a bunch of money. We liked the less formal format this time where there wasn't anything scheduled. Then we had some others that said, no, we really didn't like it because there wasn't the fashion show and the dance party that was scheduled and all those things that in the past had been on a schedule where they'd go to and enjoy it. So we got about 50-50. I know Lindsay Holly from Main Street Program went around talking to some businesses, asking for their feedback. We asked for some feedback as well whenever I was out trying to just say, hey, how'd it go? Again, got 50-50 from the businesses. Some of them said it was a good weekend. Those had the ones that I think did better had other events going.
Yeah, like Coco, she had 3 curated events.
Yeah.
And she said, I think in her feedback,
Sunday?
that she had the best weekend or the best
That was her best girls' weekend Sunday ever.
girls' weekend.
Yeah, so like that was positive that we heard. Then we heard from a few others that said, negligible impact. I'm not sure as much about
Is
the
there had a medium of
restaurants.
like what's there to
What was your
do?
all's impact?
Yeah,
I would say it was just a slight increase.
Yeah.
I know, I can remember there was like 6 girls sitting at the corner of the bar having just the best time ever. But other than that, I think you could see some tables over there that were a group of ladies and you kind of thought, oh, I bet they're on the girls'
But you don't know.
weekend.
Yeah.
But we didn't
But we
know for
had no
sure.
idea.
But the ones at the bar, because they were so talkative with Brandon and we knew that they were there.
yeah.
And we learned valuable lessons with the trolley because we had a trolley hop on, hop off thing and then, did we have like 60?
We didn't sell a bunch of wristbands for that. I think in the future, I mean, we can.
That's a way to
continue
get
learn.
information, but
I think we probably do, try and find a sponsor that would cover it so that it's free for the weekend. So there's just some things we're learning. As far as the amount of effort that was put in, I mean, I don't want to minimize the design effort and all that. But for the fact that it can, bring a few hundred people here, that's not too bad. But I don't know that at this time, we're going to want to go back to Main Street's process unless they just want to jump back into organizing an entire weekend. I don't think that's something that Visit Madison will do. But if we want to continue curating opportunities and putting them together in a brochure, I think it's a minimal effort for bringing people here.
Yeah, that's what I was getting to I wanted to see what the workload was and if you thought that there was an ROI on it. So if you feel like it's minimal.
I'll let Sarah speak about, the amount of work. but-
collecting information from everyone is always the big, heavy task. And then, they submit something and then you publicize it and they said, well, oh, my stuff's changed. You're like, well, you didn't tell us, so there's a lot of follow-up. We had 26 people provide information, lodging, restaurant, shopping, attractions. So it was a great show up. I mean, we were really squeezing stuff in there. But that is the biggest, the laborsome thing is collecting information, compiling it, trying to, narrow it down so it all fits in that brochure and we do it in-house and then I think one of the misses, I mean, it's just like so expensive to print. Just getting 250 of those was $500 at a local printer. And I maybe could have went a different route, but everybody needed more. Everybody needed more of those, and so that was something that we would change in the future, is just.
They literally fought for mine. They all knew that I got
Yeah.
them and they were like, Jess, can we have your 7? And I was like, yeah. And well, then they were like, like 5 people were like,
Yeah.
"Jess, can I have your 7?"
Yeah, ours were given out.
And then
like,
we, I know,
One
immediately,
day.
it was, it was almost, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, and then we waited to pass them out until later to that week, because we knew that they were gonna be something that the girls were gonna carry around with them, because they were probably gonna be like, well, where do I go next? What do I do next? So anyway, it was one of those, a learning lesson on what to do there.
I think we learned, but again, if we can get the information from businesses and have that in advance, I think the value is good, and I think it's potentially a something that we could replicate for other weekends throughout the year. Pick a theme and we'll just ask the businesses, hey, what thing do you want to offer that's part of this theme? And we'll promote it. I think there's something there. But we did
Especially if
learn-
it's the 7th year running of people deciding to come to Madison with their girlfriends.
Yeah.
So what does that look like in the future? I still think that it's absolutely some kind of itinerary group kind of building kind of type thing. So, no,
Yeah.
thanks for asking.
So the one thing that I heard, and I think I heard it more than most because I was a St. Patrick's themed event that was on the list. It just so happened that our St. Patrick's event was that weekend this year. The theme really confused people. And because the brochure was green, they were like, where's the green beer? What are we doing? And I was like, no, it's girls' weekend. And they're like, but it's
It's also,
green.
I agree,
And I was like,
I agree.
okay, and so I do think, and we've had this, Main Street's had this conversation, I know that it's happened for years. Girls' weekend is the theme.
Yeah,
it's what,
That is the theme. You don't need another thing.
Yeah.
because I think the next weekend was like,
It's
was
the-
the
that
St.
is other-
Patrick's trolley
It was.
tour, and then everyone, yeah, so I think it was a little convoluted.
Yeah,
I think.
Good.
That's why we didn't know who anybody was, really, cause if you're wearing green, maybe you're a girls' weekend, but I don't know.
the second was, I got people that I wouldn't normally get because I was on Girls' Weekend. So that was a perk for us. But it was a little
Yeah.
confusing for everyone
It's good to know.
and when you're thinking about themes, Girls' Weekend is the theme.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
that's it, nothing else.
Yes,
Like-
you don't need it to be
Yeah.
anything else.
I think last year that they did do a Mardi Gras theme, cause.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a Barbie theme too, 1 year or
We
something?
did.
Yeah.
It
have a
was
theme.
Barbie.
Maybe there is a theme, I don't know.
We just thought,
It was just Girls' Weekend, and they had different shirts. But it was still.
also the
just-
weekend fell differently.
Yes, this was a different year,
So,
different lineup.
This was the first time that it went fully into March, or
Yeah,
like,
cause it should have been that first.
it was
weekend.
always the first weekend in March, but because that
That was-
February 28th fell the way it fell, and
Leap year.
then last year was February 28th, first and second. The year before, you got first, second, third, and then, you know what I mean? So like, really, if you go back, that really messed things up, because we were like, well, that's the start of our St. Patty's week, so naturally, we thought that it would be a good thing, but obviously it was a disappointment for a lot, because they were like expecting way more for that really fun holiday.
But Sarah, like, I don't think that's your fault in any way, and I think there is this. Thing happening in the world where we've built this brand and this thing that when we say we're doing a theme, they like expect us to go all out. Like.
Victim past success.
You know, like, why are
Yeah.
Anderson's like, weekend people were like, what do you mean the whole town's not decorated like housing? We're there,
The Whoville thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
And that's it.
disappointment to a lot of people.
We have to be better at communicating what the expectations are, and if you say it's just Girls' Weekend, then you don't have to do the rest of that.
That's,
And
that's
that.
cool.
But I do, like, it's not just this event, it's a
Yeah.
regularly occurring thing, and when visitors come and take tours on those weekends, they're like, we just expected this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where did you get that idea? Cause all it says is it's shopping, I don't know.
Right, and I-
Not the rest of that.
And I can add, and I think you guys would agree that we've talked about this in JCTA with partners and
Oh,
said,
yeah.
and we said, how can we better communicate down Main Street? And this is going back to 2+ years ago, because I remember Taylor was on the board.
Mm-hmm.
And she was that for-profit business, retail business on the JCTA, and we came up with the idea of having a block captain. It's an old idea, you know, like having the block captain where that information got to that person. And they went and they told the people that were in that block, and then, you know what I mean? So but I think there's just issues with communicating.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to engagement and, you know, business owner engagement, shop merchant engagement, you know, are people wanting to take this on or not? Because if you don't have like the buy-in locally, then I just think that's how these things sometimes flop.
Mhm.
And
And
we're trying to be
Yeah.
good partners and help out, because we see value in Girls Weekend. We see value in that by itself. But the whole shebang it was very hard for us to take
Sure.
on. So we were really just trying to be the best we could be, because we didn't wanna see it not be something.
Right.
Well, it
Yeah.
was better than not having it.
Agreed.
Well, okay.
100%.
Okay.
I'm still super glad that we had it, and I think the people who came that I interacted with were still.
They still
really-
enjoyed themselves.
And they were
Yes.
just excited to have a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
So I think, yes,
Ones that we had were happy with the way everything went.
yeah.
Like just getting together is really what they wanted to do.
I think so
Yeah,
too.
I think it's just makes an excuse to get
Yes.
together with your
Absolutely.
friends, and there's a
It's got
date,
some of
and
that
this is
feedback.
when we're, yeah.
Cause the one lady was like, well, I had my daughter and my other daughter-in-law or whatever, and, you know, we didn't care, we just liked being together. I
Yes.
mean, that's what they
Yeah.
said. It's
Mhm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It's,
Be a
Right.
good excuse.
come to Madison and be
Yeah.
together, be together in Madison.
Yeah, I like
We do
that.
need to get back to the branding at some point, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
And an update on that is, I was accepted to Indiana Tourism Academy through an ITA, and with that is a destination-based project. And my intention is to try to do phase 2 of that with that. It's absolutely sitting here every day, look, you know, going, what are you doing? You know, it's just a lot of things in the
Yeah.
fire, but it is a priority. I'm just trying to get to how I'm gonna go to the next step. And May, I just had my first class, and then May is my next full day class, and I hope I'll find more information about how that works with the destination. But absolutely, thanks for asking about it. I'm sorry.
Like,
I feel like a failure.
don't ask me about it.
No, I haven't.
No, we know, I know,
You wanna hear.
no, I know you're very busy, so, all good.
All right. Tourism Alliance.
So we had a meeting, there were 18 people there. It was a regular old party. We talked about a lot of things, including branding. So Charlie is still beating that drum at JCTA about we need to think about branding, and that was definitely something we talked about.
What were the thoughts on that?
Well, it was Charlie suggesting his thoughts.
Okay.
And so I suggested we put it on the rail so that we can continue that conversation in the
Mhm.
future, so hopefully that will be real. The other big thing we talked about was midweek business travelers and finding a way to provide things for them to do or knowing more. And so this was a pretty significant conversation, lots of great ideas, and hopefully things will come from that next time. The next meeting is May 20th at the Chop House.
Mhm.
And it'll be at 9 o'clock, and I've already sent a calendar invite by request. So you should have that on your calendar, and it also has a bit of a recap in that calendar invite, so you can check all of that. Oh, and the calendar invite includes, because I asked Josh for Trevor's recommendation, if you receive JCBT money, you were invited. So, that went to those folks so that they know. So, that's it.
Next meeting is May 18th. Would ask an audience call, but we had the audience call. Anybody have anything?
Nope.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Kevin. Thank you.
Thank you. Here, I will gladly take that magazine if you want to give it to